Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Tonight we're checking out a 2020 Honda Ridgeline in the RTL trim level. This video focuses on the interior and exterior lighting of the vehicle. You could check out the full overview, my experience, and all that other videos of this vehicle on my channel, but this one specifically focuses on the interior and exterior lighting. So first I want to point out that you turn off the exterior lights and you still have these kind of dim daytime running lights still on. So when you try to turn off all the exterior lights, you still have those lights on. When I turn on the parking lights, these amber lights here at the bottom turn on. And these are all standard bulbs here. So these amber lights here at the bottom turn on, also these side markers in amber. There's a red side marker here in the back, kind of small, but it's there. And there's your taillights. Now these glowing taillights are red. The camera makes them look a little bit a different color or whatever, but it's definitely red in person. And they're the only exterior lights that are LED that I can tell. Here's your tag lights. There's a turn signal here in the back, and it is a red turn signal, standard bulb. There's no turn signal indicator on the side mirror. That's completely dark. And there's the turn signal here in the front. That's basically that same parking light, amber light, just flashing now. Now I have the low beams on, and these are halogen powered projector low beam headlights. You can see there. Same thing with the fog lights. The fog lights are halogen, but they're in a reflector. So there's the low beam. I'll show you driving the vehicle as well, but there's low beams and there's high beams. There's low and there's high. When you turn on the high beams, the fog lights turn off, and the center portion that you saw before that was dim, now it's like super bright. And it's a reflector halogen for your high beams in addition to your low beams in a projector. Even though the cargo lights are not LED in this particular trim level, I think they did a great job on the location. So you have two lights, one on each side, and they're right there, kind of like more towards the back, but very close to the center of the bed. There's no illumination from the back of the cab. A lot of cargo lights in trucks will have a light in the back of the cab illuminating this whole area. So if they were to add that, I think it'd be a little bit better. But as it is, it's not so bad. So you can see pretty good back here. They're bright enough and they're strategically located. So also when you lift up the trunk area, there's no lights inside here, but once you lift this up, these lights are able to illuminate this cargo area as well. So I thought that was a pretty good idea, having those in that position. So they provide 2 points of light in the cargo area as well as the bed. So you can see down in there, it's bright enough to where you can see with your naked eye. The camera makes it look a little bit darker than what it is. And also it's all black here on the inside. But you can see there's a green rag down there. You can see it. You can see it. I mean, it's illuminated, so that's good. The inside of the back door does have a little locator light showing you where the power window is. So it's backlit right here, and then you see that. So that way you can find the power window. But other than that, it's a dark. Everything else is dark. There's no puddle light or anything like that. It's completely dark. And the only illumination back here comes from this dome light, and it's a standard halogen yellow bulb, but it does give pretty decent illumination, especially with this light interior. So you can illuminate this whole area here. This area is all dark, the floorboard's all dark. There's no illumination down there. It just has that center dome light. So if you had darker interior, it would, you know, I think it would just be worse, of course, because it's not reflecting light, but it's kind of, you know, it could be better, I would say, especially for the price range of this vehicle. So the inside of the driver's side door, there's no puddle light here as well. There is a reflector in the area in which the puddle light will be on the higher trims right here. But it does have the backlit buttons for your controls here on the door. Other than that, it's all dark. Now the higher trims will have a little bit of ambient light around the handle, stuff like that. And also on the floorboard, the higher trims will have some ambient light there as well. But basically, this front portion is illuminated by these two center lights. And then you have that dome light in the back kind of spilling over a little bit as well. And with the light interior, it's not so bad. Okay, so I have the door open and the interior lights are on here, illuminating the area. Now, the glove compartment does have a decent light in it. This compartment here has a little bit of illumination right here. It's not super great. That's why I'm having the interior lights on when I'm showing you this compartment, because it's rather big, and if you have anything in there, this little light helps, but it's easy to block that light, and it's not all that great. It would be nice if it had someone here on the side or something a little bit brighter here in this compartment. Same thing with these areas right in here. This area is all dark, so let me show you what it looks like. See, this is a whole compartment where you can put some stuff, but it's completely dark. Alright, so let's go ahead and shut the door. Interior lights will fade away. And now we have backlit illuminated buttons. Here on the left side, they're on the door. Remember I showed you those. Here on the steering wheel, you notice they're not super bright here on the steering wheel. So even when I turn up the brightness, it doesn't adjust the backlit illuminated buttons. It just does the screen, the gauges, stuff like that. So here's your gauges. Just simple, and the visibility is fine as far as at nighttime. Same thing with the screen. You have your controls here. But the compartments are lacking big time. Yeah, the controls for your shifter is all backlit illuminated, so that's good. So you notice a little, I don't know if you can see that, little reflection of a blue light. Well, that light is actually coming from up here. So right above, let's see here if I can show you this. Okay, so the rearview mirror is here. You have some backlit buttons up here. But turn that off. Right up in here, I don't know if you can see my hand, you can see these blue lights here. So it's a very soft ambient blue light, and it just kind of illuminates, softly illuminates like moonlight the center of the vehicle here, which is nice. This is really good. I'm glad they included that. You do have some tap lights. These are LED. In this particular trim, these are both LED map lights or reading lights. And those are separate from the interior lights. So there's the interior lights. Those are LED little map lights. They're more sharp and they're nice and white. Now I'm going to leave those lights on for a second to show you that the visors, actually I'm going to turn on the night vision here, because the visors have mirrors but no lights in them. So in this trim, they even skimp out on that. Kind of surprising that these mirrors don't have lights in them. I mean, even the most basic vehicles usually have at least that. When I put it in reverse, the backup camera is nice and bright. You can see behind the vehicle pretty good. Here's the low beams and there's the high beams. You can see there is a pretty decent cutoff there, but it's not like super bright. I mean, it's adequate, but I would say overall this vehicle is if it's mediocre for 10 years ago. So for this to come out in 2017 and have the lighting setup that it has now, some things are great, but it's just I think what it is they want you to buy the higher trims in order to get modern features, as far as the lighting. So I think it's it's not all that great. I would say the interior and exterior lighting is like I said, mediocre for 10 years ago, but it is adequate, but it's nothing special, especially for the price range of this vehicle. And they cut off the lower trim, so it's not like, you know, you trying to buy a new one 2020 or newer, it's going to be, you know, $35,000 minimum, and you know, they don't even have, you know, that great of lighting. I mean, 2020 lighting should be a lot better than 1995 lighting. You know, it's not all that great. But anyways, let's go see what it's like on the road, because it's actually not bad as far as the high beams go. When you go out in the high, you know, in the dark roads or whatever, the high beams are pretty cool. I mean, they're good. They're not great, but they're good, and so they're not bad. So you can see in those trees over there, hopefully.